Welcome back to Just the Fit Tip.
Welcome back, everybody. Another episode of Just the Fit Tip, where we give you
Fitness tips.
and
Debunk some myths.
Yeah,
All
debunk
right.
some myths about the fitness industry.
Yeah.
And we just get to it.
That's right.
Get right to the tip.
Get right to just the fitness tip of everything. Okay. And what we are talking about today is you should work out inside the fat burning zone to burn the most calories.
I'm always in the zone.
All right.
What?
Are you always in the zone?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to work out inside the fat burning
in the
zone,
zone?
mate. I am the zone. You want to actually no, they're working outside. Get away, you monster.
All right. Yeah. So what is this myth? No, explain it to me.
So this was a market. I want to say marketing ploy. It was like a thing that fitness companies that made like cross trainers and treadmills and reclining bikes all sort of jumped on board with. There were some studies that came out like, oh, you'll burn the highest percentage of fat in this fat burning zone. It's like 60 to 70%, so they call it 65% of your heart rate max if you just to stay around that range, and you'll burn the most percentage of fat. This is disingenuous, all right, or a little misguided, because while yes, and similar to fasted cardio will burn a high percentage of fat while fasted compared to in the afternoon, you'll put on a high percentage of fat, right? You'll store. Similar. So basically, yes, you will burn a higher percentage of fat, because remember, you're not going to burn just fat or just carbohydrate stores or just lean mass. It is a blend, all right? Just like when we go for a sprint, it's not just anaerobic. There is an aerobic component to it as well, right? There's always a blend. It's a spectrum, okay? So basically, yes, you will burn a higher percentage of fat if you're in the fat burning zone, but in the end, you will burn a heap more total calories and therefore more fat if you were just to work out harder.
Yeah. So it's all based on intensities, right?
It's all based on intensities.
And this is what I tell people a lot, is because a lot of people think that to burn fat or to get leaner, they have to do lots of running or running on the treadmill or being on the bike or like just long versions of that's silly. Why would you do that if you hate it? Do a HIIT training session, do some sprints, be actively working for 5 to 15 minutes and do twice, 3 times, 4 times as much work as you would in an hour. Get more out of that 5 to 15 minutes than you would in a whole hour of just hating your life. It's a lot more effective. This is because it's a lot more intense. But you don't need to be in any particular zone. It depends entirely on. It depends on a lot of things actually. But that doesn't really make sense when you think about what you can do with your training and with your body and with your diet. And it's just boring, really, when you think about it. Who wants to go for a freaking run for that long, for 8 hours at a time?
Just think of it this way:
and running a marathon, you crazy person.
That was 4 hours, not 8 hours.
It sounds awful.
And you can do this as a little experiment for yourselves, guys. If you were just to jump onto a bike or a treadmill or something and get your heart rate to around 65% and stay there for 15 minutes, okay, versus putting it on. You can get bikes. You put them on like hill mode or like the interval mode, and you can do this the same amount of time, and you will hands down burn more calories because your body will recover at like 50-55%, but you're working up at like 90%. So
these they have like Tabata sprints where you'll sprint with everything you have for 10 seconds and you have 20 seconds or 30 seconds off, and then you sprint with everything you have, so you get this massive spike in heart rate and then a drop, and your body works really hard working and recovering doing that. And so you get a lot more out of that in the 15 minutes, even though you're working for 1/3 probably of the amount of time of just 15 minutes straight. You get probably 3 times as much kind of work out of that than I would expect you would for the 15 minutes.
Plus, you're working a variety of energy systems. So you're working your anaerobic system, you're working your aerobic system more, it's just going to be better for you. Obviously, if you're in a demographic where maybe you're older and you've got a lot of injuries and you just can't do like high intensity stuff anymore, that's fine. Like you can do solid state a little bit lighter and sit in the fat burning zone. Look, something is better than nothing.
If you're training for something, like I say this a lot because I personally just don't like cardio, so I have avoided it at all costs. I just eat well to control my body weight and do things with my body weight. It's all diet. I don't really account for my training at all. Unless I'm coming down to a crunch for some sort of specific date. But it's all diet because cardio is silly. And unless you're training for a marathon or a long event where you actually need to train yourself to be able to handle and endure long distances and long time periods, you don't need to do it.
Right.
A very unpopular opinion, but
Oh, no, not at all. So yeah, I think there's not really too much more to say in that. Like if your goal is to burn fat, intensity is king, right?
yeah,
So like in your workout, right? If you want to burn fat in your workout, intensity is king.
work harder.
Work harder, work smarter. I mean, you could work twice as hard for half the time.
Yeah.
And then you have extra time.
Exactly.
But also in everyday life, you got to be have more activity. So try to walk around. Don't just sit down all day.
And we did talk about this in one of the previous episodes as well. If you want to just burn calories in general, improve your overall
Activity levels.
activity levels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that is going to give you the biggest bang for your buck, right? 15% of all your daily calories, roughly, come from your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is your basic activity, walking around.
Yeah. Walk to work, take the stairs. That
That's
sort
it.
of stuff.
That sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Improve that, and then you'll get good results.
Myth busted.
Myth busted. All right. I hope you enjoyed that episode of Just the Fit Tip. Would you like to give a plug on this one?
Yes, I would. Get in the zone with us, guys. Like and subscribe our page. It really helps us out. We're getting ever closer to the 1,000 subscribers. That will help us to get to those 1,000 squats that we really, really want to do.
Wanna do 'em
and
so
are
bad.
definitely not scared of at all.
do them so bad.
So help us out, guys. It really helps the page grow.
Awesome. See you guys. See you next time on Just the Fit Tip.
Just the Fit Tip.